It's finally here, the Chainsaw Man International Assassins Arc trailer. Listen, I'll take any Chainsaw Man content I can get nowadays, and I thought it would be fun to break down this trailer frame by frame. But quick warning, this video will have spoilers for the entirety of the International Assassins arc, so if you haven't read it, please do so. It's only 18 chapters long and is free to read on Manga Plus. Good? Great, let's break this down. The first thing we see is the statue as a bell rings in the background. Now, this is actually a real place called Marienplatz or Mary Square in Munich, Germany. It even has the same golden statue of the Virgin Mary. Then we're shown a clip of 4 kids running through the woods. My first thought was these kids were the same ones that Santa Claus requests as their reward for stealing Denji's heart. But looking at the manga, I don't think they're the same. I think this may be an anime-only scene to flesh out the introduction of Germany's Santa Claus, and we may get some additional scenes for the introduction of the other assassins as well. And if you didn't already tell, this trailer has the same art style as the Reize movie, so this most likely means this style will be used for the rest of part 1, if not the whole series. Which is great. As much as I like season 1's style, I can't deny this one adapts Fujimoto's style better. Then we have our first look at Germany's Santa Claus in this trailer, sitting on a bench as he waits to be given his next mission. We change scenery to New York City of the US of A, if you couldn't tell by the flag or the Statue of Liberty, but the video abruptly cuts to a frame of what looks to be a destroyed urban landscape. There's no scene like this in International Assassins, however I have a strong feeling this is actually from the next arc, the Gun Devil arc. In this arc in the manga, there are multiple panels of cities being destroyed. The power lines especially make me think that the Gun Devil arc will be adapted either in the same season as Assassins or in a Core 2. Then the trailer cuts back to these guys, Joey, Aldo, and the brother Fujimoto never bothered to give a name to. They are the American assassins contracted to hunt down Denji. Next stop is a lone cabin in the frozen wastelands of the Soviet Union where we meet our 2 next assassins, Tolka and Master, who is secretly the real Santa Claus, who is secretly the Doll Devil. A little confusing, I know. And finally we have China, home of good grief, they're naked! We're just gonna censor that in case Mr. YouTube is watching. We have our first look at Quan Chi, the world's second most deadly devil hunter and unofficial queen of the lesbians with 4 fiend girlfriends, Pingxi, Long, Cosmo, and Tsukihagi. Cosmo is the only one of them who we actually know what devil she is, which is the Cosmos Devil, who embodies the fear of omniscience and knowing everything in the universe. It's highly unlikely, but maybe the anime will give us one of the other girls' devil identities. Next we see Makima and Kishibe walking down a hall, discussing Quan Chi's arrival and the threat of Santa Claus. And then we see this. Honestly, I've been racking my brain over this, and I can't for the life of me figure out what this is. It looks like it's on the ceiling based on how the light pours into the room. If I had to give my best guess, this is probably a light in the conveyor belt sushi restaurant Quan Chi and her girlfriends go to. Here we have the bunker Denji is hiding in at the beginning of the arc, being introduced to 3 devil hunters who will be closely protecting him. Then we have Angel sitting in a restaurant talking to Aki, telling him about how every devil seems to hear the sound of chainsaws when they die in hell. Next we get a clearer shot of the devil hunters Makima introduces to Denji. From left to right we have Hirofumi Yoshida, Tamauki, and Kusakabe. Yoshida has a contract with the Octopus Devil, and Kusakabe has a contract with the Stone Devil. We don't know what devil Tamauki has a contract with, but it's likely he does have one considering most public safety hunters do. Then we get a shot of Aki sitting across from Angel in the restaurant from before. Next we see not only Tenda but Kurose in the Reize movie art style in all of their glory, with a shot of Denji and Power at the duck pond spliced between them. Next is a close-up shot of Kusakabe's face, followed by a shot of Subaru, one of Tendo and Kurose's co-workers from the Kyoto division. Here we have a shot of Denji laying on the floor of the bunker, vowing to kill all the assassins so he can go on a trip with Makima, which is promised at the beginning of this arc. And then we get a nice up-close shot of Yoshida. I personally really like his hair being black instead of a dark purple. Next we get a shot of a red sky and a clearing of trees. This could be the sun setting during Denji's fight with the Doll Devil after she eats a piece of the Darkness Devil's flesh, which not only makes her stronger but makes her immune in the dark. Next is an earlier scene of Denji and Doll Devil's fight as he uses saws on the bottoms of his feet to scale a building and maneuver around Doll Devil's pawns, which transitions into a scene of Power driving Kobeni's car into Denji and one of the American assassins. Fun fact, this is actually from an omake, or a short bonus page you can find in a volume of manga. The specific one is at the end of volume 7 where Power deludes herself into thinking she knew the person was an assassin before she ran them over. This isn't the first time MAPPA has animated omakes, but it's really cool to see it incorporated into the actual anime and not as separate shorts. It makes me wonder if they'll include the Omake Volume 8 where we see Kishibe try and fail to woo Quan Chi when they used to be co-workers. We get some more shots of all the assassins, and then we get a shot of young Denji in the alleyway. To my knowledge, I don't believe we see a similar scene in either International Assassins or the Gun Devil arc. This could be another scene added to the anime, or this could be hinting to a scene in the final arc of Chainsaw Man Part 1. Now, it seems like a stretch that MAPPA will adapt the rest of Part 1 in a single season, but there are only 45 chapters left of Part 1 to adapt into anime. For reference, Season 1 adapted 37 chapters into 12 episodes, so it could be possible to squeeze the rest of this part into a season of anime with maybe 1 or 2 additional episodes to help spread it out. Finally, we reach the title card, but there's 2 more frames hidden in here. The first is another shot of Angel talking to Aki at the restaurant, and the second is what I'm most excited to see animated: Hell. And this particular shot makes me think that when the Darkness Devil shows up, it's going to switch from color to black and white, which would be so cool. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to me Corn play for a whole 5.5 minutes. I have lots of other videos on Chainsaw Man, and I plan to make more in the near future, as well as some other videos talking about other manga. So if that interests you, why not subscribe to the channel? And comment down below what your favorite part of the trailer is. That's pretty much it, so see ya.